Hey kids, welcome back to Worth the Change. Hey, we're still in our temporary or permanent location. Haven't decided yet. I know we're not in the old one, that much for sure. I'm your host, Jack. Welcome to Worth the Spin. Now we got that out of the way, let's talk vinyl. Today we're going to take a little look at this one here. This is a recent find as in like a couple of days ago. J.F. Murphy and Salt. Alrighty, so old J.F. Murphy. He was in a band in the late 60s. Called Frontman, did an album. Merchants of Change. Did not do very well at all. He was displeased with the whole part of a band experience and decided he would go out on his own. He started another band and they were named J.F. Murphy and Salt. That's right. All right. So they've done two albums as far as I remember. I should have looked up a little background info on them. Not feeling it today, so we're going off memory on this one. I'm going off memory on most of them, honestly. I barely ever look anything up. I kind of know about a band and their album, in particular album, or I don't. And if I don't, I'm going to look it up and I'm going to read it just word for word what it says about them. But since I know something, I like to share that info. There's not a lot to say about this band. They did a couple albums. First one was on Atlantic or Epic Records. It did not chart. The band did not do well, and they lost their contract with that company pretty well immediately. That album they did was not a very good album. I've heard it, and so J.F. Murphy and Salt is kind of a funky blues, I guess, type critter to best description. So kind of the folk thing was going around early back then, and he was one of the guys who got in on that whole folk thing and tried to ride the wave of folkism or whatever you want to call it. Didn't work out very well. Columbia signed them on, and that's when they released this album here. And this album also failed to chart, so they lost their contract there. And to my memory, and it's fairly good, this is the last album that J.F. Murphy did. This is the one. So if somebody's like a fan of this band and they're looking for an album of theirs, this is usually the one they're looking for. I haven't seen this album in, I don't know, at all. It's the first time I've seen this album. I had these two songs off of CD. It was one of those, they used to do a multi-pack thing where there was two albums on one CD, and the case had the split image of each cover, and it said double serving or double something on there, and it had both CDs or both albums on that CD. It's not impressed by it. The main reason I got it was because, again, I've mentioned this before. A station in my town has this thing, or did used to have this thing called the K-She Classic. And they would take a song of a certain band, and it's usually a song that was probably their only one hit or the only really good song they did, or the most popular song they did, and they would play that. And they also converted it later on to the Lone Classic, where they had the theme from the Lone Ranger playing, and then they would introduce this band and introduce this song, and they would play that song. Not just this one, but some other ones too. So this is where I came across this song, was from that Lone Classic deal. And I love this song. And like I said, I got the CD, the 2-pack CD deal, and just not impressed by it at all other than the one song. So I didn't hang on to it. I don't hang on to most CDs because CDs is not my thing. Alrighty, let's take a look at this again. So again, there's not a lot of info to give you on this band because they really haven't done a lot. So there's not a lot to tell you. Biggest part I could tell you about this band is what it says on the back here. One of the members of the band, Christopher Guest, he makes a comment on here about JF, also known as Jack, and you can read that along there. The rest of the band members, get a little fuzzy on these guys, is J.F. Murphy, he's lead vocals, John Riley drums, Ron Aldred background vocals, soprano, alto, tenor, saxophones, and flute, so he does quite a bit. Joe Panera, he background vocals, guitars, George Christ, vocals, harmonica, and percussion. And he's the one who wrote this little blurb here at the bottom. And we round it all off with little Russell Walnuts, background vocals, and bass. There you go, bass player. All right. So I won't read the whole thing down here, but it kind of basically gives you this outlay of Jack, the lead singer, and the fact that he's just kind of a real cool, loose kind of guy. And they go into the studio, and it's not really a format, I guess you would say, or this is how we want things played. He allows musicians to express themselves through their music, and it fits in well. It all fits in well. They all do a great job. Again, like I said, it's like kind of a bluesy folk kind of feel to it. The Last Illusion is a little bit different. That is kind of a little more straight on sort of rock song, but the rest of them have that bluesy feel to them. So on side one, we got Sweet Bird, Which One, Teenage Fantasy, Touched by Love, and Bell Toll. None of those songs I really care that much about. Side two, we have New York City / Home, The Man Who Is Alone, and The Last Illusion. The Last Illusion is what I know this band for. I think it's what most people who do know this band, that's what they know it for, is that one song. And they're popular for that, and that's pretty much, I think that's it. But is this album worth a spin? It is. Again, like I say, every album's worth a spin. You never know. You might come across something in a dollar bin, and there's like 10 of them, like, wow, this doesn't sell very well. And you take it home, you never heard it before. Bam! Man, I love that. That's some great stuff. Then again, you could pick it up and you go, woo! Right on out the car window with that one. So, it's all personal taste. It's what you're in it for. Let's take a little look here at the label, because we like to look at all of the album. This is the first pressing, by the way. And when I looked it up to put it in my Discogs listing, so I have it, it seems to have some value to it. So that's kind of cool. All right, this would be your side A label. This would be your side B label. No, I did not pay $35 for this record. If it doesn't say The Beatles on it, I'm not paying $35 for it. I picked this up in a trade, and it was, I got a couple other ones with it, so I'm just trying to guess at how much trade I got for each item. I think this was like 18, something like that. So it's a lot for one song, and I try not to, even trade-wise, I don't want to spend that much on an album and get one song off of. But I wanted to listen to it. I thought, hey, I really like that song. Maybe I'll like the rest of it. I couldn't remember it that well from memory from when I had the CD. So I went ahead and got it, and it was not any better than I forgot that I remembered that it wasn't any good. So it's still worth picking up. It's worth the spin. It's worth listening to, because you never know. This might be your style of music. And if you're into this kind of music, this might be a really good album for your collection. The Last Illusion is an excellent song, but you can do what kids do. You can download it or stream it or whatever if you want. I choose not to. I prefer physical copies. So there you go. And again, I'm trying not to do he's got 85 albums, but there's only one song on each one I like. You know what I mean? What's the point? What's the chances you're going to sit back and listen to that more than once or twice? I've listened to this whole album twice, trying to give it a double chance to like it again, and I don't. I still just go back to The Last Illusion as the one song on here that I like. So check it out. If you see it somewhere at your local record store, I wouldn't pay $35 for it unless you know you're a big fan of it. I wouldn't have paid the $16 that I spent in trade on it had I remembered that it really didn't live up to my fuzzies. But I didn't. So I don't know. If I found this in a shop for $5 by itself, I'd buy it just for that song. So I think you will too. I think you'll really enjoy it. But don't listen just to that song. Listen to the whole album. Get a feel for the whole album before you flip over and you get to the end and you ride that last song. You might like it. You never know. you like it, hey, let me know. If you don't like it, hey, that's cool too. Let me know. Be kind in your comments. I like comments. I like to reply to people. I like to know, hear that somebody's watching this and that they're enjoying it. I got my fancy graphics from the old studio before something happened to them. Do you like this video? Hey, give it a thumbs up. That's right. And tell your friends, hey, come watch this video. And guy on there, he knows a little bit about records. It's not too bad. It's semi-entertaining. And that is what I offer to you, my friends. For the low, low price of $0 is pretty good entertainment. Alrighty. Again, J.F. Murphy and Salt. And it's worth the spend. Again, every record's worth the spend. I just would not pay very much for this. But if you listen to it beforehand, like I said, on YouTube or Spotify, whatever you guys use, then you might just say, wow, I love that album. I do want to own a physical copy of it. I'm going to go look for it. I've not seen one of these, and I don't know, ever, probably. I've never owned a record, just a CD. I don't think I've ever seen a record. So it's kind of weird that I found it all of a sudden. But I do come across stuff. I go to enough record stores, I come across stuff. So, all right. J.F. Murphy and Salt, one more time. The Last Illusion. I recommend it. So if you'd like to give it a spin, give it a spin. Other than that, I'll see you next time. I know I've been kind of absent for a while. There's no reason for it because, like Stick says, I have too much time on my hands ticking away. So I'm going to catch up on some videos here so I can get them posted on a semi-schedule. What's that schedule going to look like? I don't know. But if you subscribe, you'll find out when I do. All right. Have a good day, guys. Be kind. Remember, music should be a soundtrack to your life. Make it a good soundtrack. Make it a good life. Love one another. Be cool out there. Listen to music ever how you want to listen to it. I choose vinyl, but you listen to it ever how you want to listen to it. See you later.